Welcome back to the old stream farm. Right, first of all, before we carry on with the story, I just want to keep you up to date with what's been happening. So first of all, apologies for the gap between the first episode and this episode, but I was kind of waiting for the update for this map to take place, which it now has done, because there was a few things in there that required a new save game. And obviously, to get the best out of the map, I wanted to do that. So instead of doing episode 2 and then having to do even more to set all this up again, I delayed episode 2. So first of all, I'll go onto the map because there's a couple of things changed here. Now, what I did is I came back on like I did before I set episode 1 up, and I could not believe my luck. I did have to quit out and come in again a few times because I wanted to try and get as close as we could with what crops we had in our fields from episode 1. And believe it or not, we have exactly the same crops in 7, 8 and 9. So the oats, obviously we harvested in episode 1. I have harvested those, if I just show you. There, done. These are growing, so we've got sorghum again there, and that was soybeans, which is pretty cool. If you remember rightly, fields 1 and 2 were empty. Every single time I loaded into the game, we started off with a crop of wheat in field 1. So I've not really been able to do anything about that. That is actually ready to harvest as well, so that will be happening as part of the story. I don't know how we're going to fit in a magical crop of wheat in there, but that is it. All of the equipment I have rebought, placed it roughly where everything was. There's all the cultivators and subsoilers. One thing I changed was one of our tractors, the Fiat Agri. I had a couple of you warn me that it gets stuck in first gear sometimes and ends up running at 6 miles per hour. I was originally going to keep hold of it and try and, if it happened, fit it into the story, but when I was moving things about and testing things on the original game save, it happened to me quite a few times, which I was like, So I did swap that out, and I've ended up getting us this John Deere, which is quite a cool old looking John Deere, so hope you don't mind about that, guys. We kept the case still there, so we do have this John Deere instead. Part of the update, the silo has now become a multi-fruit silo. So I did harvest the oats. We have ended up with slightly more oat than we did originally, but it is what it is. Again, hope you don't mind. I'll go up in this mode because it's easier to show you like that. So there's the oat field harvested. I swear it seems like we've got more straw there, but now where you go. So I did away with the hay loft that we put, or I put up here, because there's no need for it. Kept everything else the same. I've got all the everything back, the equipment, the trailers, the chickens. I've even just only put enough food for them in there. So everything is there. What else is there to tell you? Oh yes, originally we had, because the BGA is down here, originally I bought the land for the BGA. As part of the update, you cannot buy that land, but the BGA is there functioning. You can sell silage bales, etc. there. So originally I placed that slurry buy point there, but I can't do that. So what I did is I put both of them up here at the grain elevator. So we've got a manure buy point there and a slurry buy point just there. Also part of the update, it now shows these symbols for the sort of hidden animal pens, even though we don't own the land and the horse one down there. I think everything else is pretty much the same. So yeah, just thought I'd keep you up speed even. So there you can see the field of wheat out there. But that is pretty much it. So let's carry on with the story. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, I must have left that running. Oh dear. Apologies for that. I came in for some lunch. I must have nodded off on the sofa. Oh, sorry. Oh dear. Oh, shouldn't have done that. That's made me feel worse. Right. So, I understand that one of the local councillors has filled you in on some of the changes to the area. So I don't know what they've told you, but it is what it is. We obviously have some straw left on that field, but I'm not going to worry about that because we have some wheat that sprouted up overnight. So that is ready to harvest. So I think we'll harvest that, but that is quite good because we can give that to our chickens as feed because they did need topping up. Obviously, I didn't get round to that. What are they doing? I thought they were trying to fight then. Stop that. So as you can see, they do have a very small amount in there. So we'll go and do this field. Again, we should get some straw off of there. I think we should fit through there with our harvester header. And then we can start baling up that straw. I've spoken to Michelle up at the shop and she reckons the boys have got a old school style baler that we could lease, and if we like it we've got potential there to buy it, so I'm quite excited about that. So we'll drop that down there and hook up to that. Yeah, what I did was go in for a little bit of a sandwich and a cup of tea. Sat down on the sofa, put the TV on. Next thing I know, I woke up, TV's turned itself off. I don't know how long I was asleep for. Anyway, let's go through this gate. Right, what's the best way to tackle this? I'm just trying to stay away from that tree. We'll unfold ourselves. And we will turn that on. And away we go. Right, we've not got straw on. Let's get straw back on. Is that flying out straw? Yes, right. Off we go. Obviously we need to be careful of the road this side. We do obviously need to do a fair bit of field prep for our fields that we've got. This is going to need some work doing to it as well. But as long as we get things going before the day is out, and then we can carry on. We'll be going into September tomorrow, so we can get some field work done. I think both of these are going to need ploughing. I'm not 100% sure of the state of the oat field actually. I can't remember what we did last year with that. We were a bit pushed for time with some of the fields, so we haven't got our full maximum yield from them. But this time I'm going to try my best to get as much as we can in terms of yield. So all the ploughing, the liming. There is a place we can get lime from, which is kind of down where the sort of local tip is, where all your household waste goes, and there's a place down there to sell stones as well. So we've got options to buy lime there, but we can also obviously buy some from the shop. I may have to do a bit of working out of the figures. I think it would probably pay to get it from the shop because it's only up the road. save a little bit on fuel. I was thinking about picking this straw up loose. I would like to keep it because that possibly could go towards animals in the future. Quite how far off we will be for pigs and cows, because that is going to be our next aim to go for, either cows or pigs. Not quite sure which ones will be first though. I mean, we can store the straw in our silo. I thought it might be quite cool to do a bit of baling. And at least we can store the bales. We've got plenty of storage on the farm. Hopefully we can get a fair amount off of this field, and then the chickens, well, they're not going to be short of feed because our sorghum should be ready in the next month or two, which is going to be awesome. Beautiful day though. Been a very productive day. Done quite a lot. Harvested 2 fields, well, almost, and we've got a bit of baling to do. So this field's almost done. I think we'll just have to do a tiny little strip there to the right that we're not quite catching. And then we can go and put the harvester away, because that won't be needed yet for, well, at least until next month. I think it probably could be the month after actually. We'll pop that away, and then we need to head up to the shop to have a look at this baler. So, hopefully a nice amount of straw off of there, as well with the oats. Should be quite a lot. Oh, we've got deer in the middle of our yard, mixing with the chickens. Come on everyone, move out the way please. I need to get through and round without killing any animals. Right, let's pop that header back on there. I may actually leave the header on because there's not really any need for us to be putting it on there, because all our fields are attached to the farm. Oh, there we go. Let's get it right. Pop that away up in that corner, like so, and then fold that back up. Right, let's lower that then. Detach. Right, now what is going on? Why can I not fold that? Oh, of course. What an idiot. We've got a load of wheat in there, haven't we? I shouldn't have had that sleep, should I? Right. Let's give the John Deere a little run out. So again, we have chickens all in the way. Let's go and grab one of our trailers. I think the small one will do for now. Hide out, chicks. Right, let's go up here. There we go. I think we are... Whoa, look at him charging towards me. We are probably going to lose some chickens at some point, I think. Because they just are in the way. Right, let's... There we go. We'll leave that running. We will put the harvester away. Decent amount of wheat there. There we go. Right, now we can fold up. Now it's... Right, there we go. We will fold it up at some point. Let's pop that away. That can live like that. Just go a little bit more. There we go. Right, let's go and give this to the chickens. So we may have to do a full sort of circle of the yard. Cut through here. You're just going to decide to sit down there, aren't you? Right. Now, it is a little bit tricky sometimes to feed these. If we do tip like that. Cool, they took all of that. They must have been very hungry. We'll shut that back up. Thank you very much. So they have... Oh, we've got some eggs as well. Have to get the wife on that as well. They've got quite a bit in there now. So let's pop this trailer back under here. Doesn't matter if it's facing that way, we're fine with that, because that will allow us then to go straight up the shop. And we need to have a look at this baler. I did have a letter actually from a chap called Graham, who said he used to help my grandfather out sometimes on the farm. He talked about a cafe that was opposite our farm. It doesn't seem to be there anymore. I've never known a cafe to be there. He said about Michelle working in there or owning it, and I'm wondering if it's Michelle that works in the shop, so I'm going to have to ask her that. Anyway, if we park around the back somewhere, just here out of the way, I will go and speak to them about said baler and see what happens. Right, so there it is, guys. I do like that. Galignani. Very cool. It's kind of right up my street, that. Obviously, I know I've said in the last video that we will obviously here and there have to use more modern equipment. That's fine, but I do like to stay a little bit vintage and older. So I don't think all this big machinery that sometimes you see on the TVs and things, it doesn't really fit in with where we are. It's such a lovely area. Question is now, where do we start? I think we'll probably go to the Oat Field, because that is the one that's been kind of crying out more to be done. That's the one we did first. So head over there. Well, we could probably sell these bales, because it could be a little way off before we do get any animals, but if we sell them, are we then going to have, you know, straw available to us then? I don't really want to be buying it. We want to be sort of producing things ourselves. Right, let's try not to run any more chickens over. Done that well. So there's our sorghum. Right. Let's get going with this. So let's turn that on. Sounds like that's kicking in. Yeah, everything's turning. I'm hoping we'll get some sort of beeping noise when we get kind of full. I do need to trim these trees back at some point, but oh, there's deer again there, look. Quite a bit there. If I'm missing any little bits, I can go back over and pick them up. These deer do not want to budge, do they? Stubborn. Get off my field. To be fair, there's not really anything there to eat, is there, anymore? Right, let's just try and pick up that little bit in there. Let's just concentrate on the main bits. So I've gone for the largest bales that we can produce from this baler, because that would mean sort of less storage, less picking them up, because that would be the next thing we'll have to do. We'll need to pick them up. I haven't got a bale spike. I'll have to buy a bale spike for the front loader. There we go, there's our first straw bale off of the Oat Field. So yeah, like I say, any little bits like this we can pick up a little bit later. I want to get as much as we can. And if we end up with a small amount left in the baler, that's okay. We'll just return it to the shop like that. Right, so this is the last bit from this field. I think I got most of it. It was a little bit tricky up that far end where the trees are all overhanging. But I do believe we have 6 bales from this field. So it's 3 there, 4, 5, 6. Yes. That is pretty good. Pleased with that. So obviously I will need to pick them up and store them. I probably might run them just backwards and forwards just with the bale spike instead of putting them on a trailer, because we could store them maybe in this shed to our right, and we do have that, I can't quite see it, random little shelter that's up on the top there by the silage bunkers. But I will decide that. I probably will pick them up off camera if I don't fall asleep again. Right, let's turn that on and go for this. I'm not convinced by this baler. I like it, it's cool looking, but it doesn't seem like it's got a very good pickup on it. I know some people might say that's my bad driving, which is a fair comment, but these swaths aren't exactly huge. It just seems to miss a few little bits, even when you're sort of going dead straight. So I'm glad we only leased it. I don't think we'll be investing in it. So let's go up like that, because that will help us. Any more? Well, if there's enough left on the field to create another bale, then I probably will pick them up. But if not, it's not a matter of life or death. We can just leave it on the field and we can plough that under, because I'm pretty sure this field will need ploughing and liming. Obviously we've got our subsoiler. We do get fairly big stones pop up when we do our ploughing as well here, so that is another job that we'll be needing to do further down the line. Look at these deer, there's so many deer about. I never used to see that many. They've started to become a bit more braver and coming in to sort of more of the suburbs. Right. See, when you like that, that's not, see, look, there you go, missed a bit. So you really can't get away with a lot. Especially if we've got dodgy swaths like that, snaking in and out. Yeah, hopefully up at the shop they might have some more sort of older equipment that we can lease or even buy in the future. They know how I feel about it, so they're always on the look for me, which is good of them. Right, let's do a little bit of a swing round. Let's see if we can go up there. It's kind of just more up and down now, isn't it? Let's go across there first. So there's plenty to be doing over the next month or so in terms of field prep. Possibly may plant some grass as well at some point, again in preparation for animals. I guess if we do that, that kind of leans us more on the side of going for cows first, which would be pretty cool. Be nice to start producing milk. Oh, that's what I was meant to say. That's what Graham said in his letter, that grandfather used to produce milk and provide it to the cafe and some other places in the area, which is pretty cool. So maybe we can start doing that again. Word gets out, we're producing milk again on the farm. That would be pretty awesome. And of course we will be doing the odd favour like we do every year for the fellow farmers in the area, and vice versa. We get a bit of help here and there if we need it. I mean, we're not too bad. It's quite small, our sort of setup, so I do tend to get away with just doing most of it on my own. Keeps the cost down, doesn't it? There is a few farmers that have got bigger sort of operations going on than we have, so they're quite often in need of help. I'm not even sure we're going to get another Bale actually out of all of this, are we? So we've got 2 Bales off of this field, which isn't too bad. We may as well try and pick it all up because it tidies the field up. We'll need to get a mulcher as well, because that is one of the sort of, well, not new things, but certainly new to us. We only started doing it sort of last year. We don't actually own a mulcher at the minute, but that could be something we invest in further down the line. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get anything there. Oh well, I think we'll leave that like that. 2 Bales there, 6 up there, that's 8. If my maths are pretty good, which they're not. Right, let's go and return this baler. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's just back that up there a second. I'm going to switch tractors because whilst we are at the shop, I can buy a bale spike for our front loader, so I need to grab the case tractor. These gates are okay, the chickens won't wander out there, I don't think. And we'll park this out of the way so they're not going to run into it. Although they are quite adventurous, they do like climbing all over some of our equipment. There was one almost up in the back of the trailer the other day. Right, let's grab this guy, because this is set up for a front loader, which is just over here. Yeah, we only own the bucket at the minute, so getting the bale spike will be pretty cool. Make sure we don't run over any chickens, birdies, get out of it. So we need to hook back up to the baler. I'll return that, I'll grab a bale spike. I think we'll probably look to sort of end the episode around about there. There we go. We are attached. go. It is quite handy living just down the road from the shop. I do spend a lot of my time up there. As you can tell, this tractor isn't quite as powerful as the John Deere, but it's a great little yard tractor. It is a bit of a workhorse. Right, let's put this down here. Right, I'm going to go into the shop. I'm going to return that and I will buy a Bale spike, then head back down to the farm, and I think we'll just have a go at picking one of the bales up. We'll have to get a weight on the back of us though, so we don't tip up. So in a second, people. Right, that's the Bale spike purchase. That cost us 600 euros, so not too bad. It's not going to break the bank. As you can see, it is attached in a safe position for transporting. So 8 bales. I think we will put them up the top, because that is kind of more like a bale shed. I may as well grab one from this field, haven't I? What I'd like to try and do is stack them on their ends. So like that. Should be easier for us. Right. Let's see if we can get through the yard again without killing any chickens. It's when they start charging at you, it's quite funny. Yes, I think we'll stack them up this end. Otherwise this shed never ever gets used really, so probably makes sense to stick them in there. Let's go like that and turn that off. So yeah, they'll be absolutely perfect under there. As you can see, 7,500 litres they are a bale, which is pretty cool. So there you go. The hot air balloons are still out today. It's a lovely day for it though, not really any clouds in the sky. That'll be it for episode 2, I think. I will carry on putting these bales in here. I'll turn the camcorder off, give that a bit of a rest because I think it needs charging up where I left it on over lunchtime. But that is it. So I hope you all have enjoyed episode 2 here on our farm. Apologies you haven't seen the wife yet. I think she will make an appearance at some point, but she is a bit shy of the old camera. So, but if you have enjoyed it, please give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.